Okay, if you saw my video last week, it's time to do an explanation, a backstory on what happened. I was smoking 4 massive briskets for a luncheon at work, and those briskets smoked through the night. And so at about 7 a.m., I got up and was checking those briskets to make sure that they were getting close to being done. One was pretty much done, so I pulled it, put it in the house, and let it rest. There was 3 more that were still going, and I decided that they needed a little more time, so I bumped up the temperature to 300 because I was getting close to time when I needed to pack up and leave and drive into the office. Well, after about 20 minutes of having the temperature at 300, I noticed there was a little bit darker smoke coming out of the top of the grill and out different sides that shouldn't have smoke coming out. Luckily, I was standing there right in front of it when it started happening. I opened the door, quickly took the 3 briskets out, stacked them next to the pool in their paper because that's all I could do, run into the garage and get the fire extinguisher, come back and put the fire out. And so basically, what took place was I had a grease fire. I had 4 briskets that were huge. I think out of all 4 of them, I ended up trimming them down to make sure they would fit in the vertical smoker. I think I must have cut probably 8 to 10 pounds altogether out of all 4 briskets. That's a lot. That's a whole nother brisket. Needless to say, uh, you know, none of the brisket was ruined. I took it to work for the luncheon. Everything was great. Turned out fantastic. So I had the concern, is there something I could do about this? Should I not be cooking that much brisket? But that's kind of what this thing is designed for. So I called upon one of my friends. He is a barbecue god. And I asked him, I said, I showed him the video and I said, what do you think? Is there something I could have done? And he said, I've seen that happen before, and the best thing that you can do is get a pan that's roughly the same size as the grill. It's going to take up another rack at the bottom, but that is just what it is. Put a little bit of water in it and let that foil pan catch all of the grease that's coming down. Try to keep from having so much grease pile up at the bottom where the burn pot is, which is what created the fire. So what I want to do for you guys is I'm going to clean this grill up. Now I'm not going to show that because I've already got a video on how to clean this grill. Go up to the store and get the best pan appropriate for the size so you guys can see what it is I purchased. And I'll tell you the dimensions of the pan if you have this particular vertical 6. I'll get it all cleaned up, do a check to see what's damaged, what might not be repairable, what just needs to be wiped down. We'll take it from there. Okay, so it is actually the next day. Um, in typical fashion, for the last 2 weeks, we've had these random storms that are pretty vicious show up out of nowhere, and that's what happened to me. We ended up losing power for about 8 hours yesterday, so I ended up shutting down my project and picked it up the next day, which is today. In total, I think I have about 6 hours straight taking this apart and cleaning every single piece that I could. I wasted probably 4 rolls of paper towels, 2 cans of foam spray, and my hands are pretty much done. Um, it may be a while before I cook in this thing again. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But I will say this. I believe that I pushed this thing too far with 4 briskets. And, I don't technically know that it was made for this. Yes, there's a lot of space in here, but 4 massive briskets like that, maybe not. So what I found at HEB was a 5-pack of these foil pans. Now this is 20 inches by almost 12 inches. It's got a picture of some hot dogs and some hamburgers. If you're looking for the exact same thing to fit in a vertical 6, this is what you're looking for. I'll put something down in the description that is close to what this is, or maybe I'll find the same thing so that if you want to order a 5-pack, you can get them straight delivered to your door. But I think I'm going to be using this from now on no matter what I do. It's just going to be less cleanup, not as much grease on the bottom to try and wipe off maybe no fires. Moving forward, I think the biggest lesson learned here is, how have a fire extinguisher. Okay, I think the biggest lesson here is safety. I think I was really fortunate that I was actually standing in front of this thing when that fire took place. So I'll make this my closing statement, and this is going to be important. I'm not giving up on this smoker just yet. I think with the idea of the foil pan in there, not cooking an entire cow or an entire pig all at once, I probably won't have problems. I think I'll cut back on what I'm doing. If I have to do massive caters, I'm going to have to think of something else. I'll probably have to go a completely different route. But anyway, that's in the future. So I hope we've all learned something this evening with this video. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, hit the subscribe button and the notifications and the bells and the links and whatever else you can click. Just go click happy. I'm Todd with Lone Star Smoke. We'll see you next time.